In this lecture on DNA replication, we're going to be discussing the telomere problem and how telomeres are replicated during DNA replication. And so there is a problem during DNA replication on the lagging strand specifically. And so we talked about how there's a leading strand, or a strand that's made continuously towards the replication forks in the replication bubble. And then there's a lagging strand where the synthesis of DNA is discontinuous, and it's made basically through a series of small primers and Okazaki fragments discontinuously. And so once we reach the ends of chromosomes, where the telomeres are located, what we'll notice is that you would have an RNA primer that can be added to the strand of DNA, and then that RNA primer can be extended in the 5 to 3' direction to the left, right? But then, after that RNA primer is removed, there's nowhere for there to be a new RNA primer placed so that DNA polymerase can extend it. Because if we recall, DNA polymerase can't synthesize DNA out of nothing. It can only extend an existing piece of DNA or RNA. It needs a free 3' hydroxyl group to add nucleotides to. And so how can you then replicate this short stretch of DNA that's located in the telomeres? If you're unable to replicate that piece of DNA, that would mean that with every round of DNA replication, every time a cell divides and that DNA needs to be replicated, the telomeres would shrink in length. They would get shorter because you would be unable to replicate this portion here, and then this portion here, and then this portion here in the next round of replication, and then this portion here. And so the telomeres would continue to shorten and shorten and shorten and shorten in length. And ultimately, the shorter that these telomeres got, the closer that you are to sort of deleting some of the more important portions of your chromosomes, where actually like genes are contained, right? And so there has to be a solution to this telomere problem and this problem of being able to replicate telomeres. And so we can't do it in the normal way of DNA replication, can't use DNA polymerase. And so there's another enzyme called telomerase, which is an enzyme that replicates telomeres specifically to stop them from shortening every time the DNA goes through a round of replication. And so here you can see that incompletely synthesized strand at the top that would have theoretically become shorter with the next round of replication, but this telomerase enzyme can actually create a complementary piece of DNA that can basically synthesize that portion of the telomere so it doesn't shorten. And so the existence of this telomerase enzyme solves the telomere problem. It allows replication of telomeres, stops them from being too short and from getting shorter and shorter. And interestingly, there's a role for telomerase that's been identified in both aging and in cancer. And so in your cells, generally, overall, telomerase is not super high functioning enzyme. And so your telomeres do get shorter with every round of DNA replication or every time your cell divides. And once those telomeres get too short, the cell receives a signal to stop dividing and enter a period of what's called senescence, where it's still alive, it will still remain alive for the duration, but it will no longer divide anymore. And so we often refer to aging as being related to a shortening of telomeres. As the cells stop dividing and they are unable to replace themselves, we tend to see some of the hallmarks of aging in our bodies more acutely. So telomeres getting shorter leads to cells division stopping and aging. And actually, there are some conditions of premature aging where patients are already born with short telomeres. And these premature aging syndromes are called progerias. The GER being like geriatrics as a type of medicine for older patients. And this individual patient here with progeria is around 16 years old, but you can see they present much older. And so we might think, okay, well, if we want to stop aging, then why don't we just keep telomerases on all the time in our cells, and then we can live forever? And that could potentially be a great idea. But one caveat that we've noticed is that cells that have an overactive telomerase, or one that's too good at functioning, too functional, and stays active all the time, is that those cells tend to develop into cancer. Cancer cells, we know, can continue to divide uncontrollably forever and ever. And so they tend to have overactive telomerase. And so there's almost sort of a Goldilocks paradox here with telomerase, where you want to have just enough to keep your telomeres at an appropriate length, right? Don't get them to be too short or you can age prematurely. And you don't want your telomeres, or you don't want your telomerase to be too active, because then you can develop cancer, right? So telomerase function has to be kind of like just right? And ultimately, this enzyme solves that telomere problem, and it also gives us an avenue to look at in terms of studying both cancer and aging.